welcome to Anfield Index TV. I'm Nina Kauser. As you're all aware, the transfer window is closed, so I'm going to give my evaluation and my assessment on the current LFC squad. So we're going to start off with the goalkeeping situation. Loads of talk about Liverpool bringing in a goalkeeper, so much unrest between Mignolet and Karius. Me personally, I'm quite happy for Karius to start for Liverpool. I don't think he's had enough game time. I think he needs to prove his worth why Jurgen Klopp got him. I think with regards to Mignolet, I've seen too much of him. And I think the performance against West Brom was pretty much writing on the wall for him. So I'm quite happy with Karius. We'll see what happens in the summer if Jurgen Klopp does indeed bring in another goalkeeper, as the rumours suggest. Okay, we're going to move on to defence. As you're all aware, Virgil van Dijk, Liverpool player, Klopp got his man. Very happy with that signing, as most of us are. The defence looked so dreadful before him. I think it's looking better. It will look better. And of course, you've got people like Klavan, you've got Matip, Lovren, great for rotation. And I will not be surprised if Jurgen Klopp goes in the summer for another defender to pair up with Virgil van Dijk and hopefully sort that defence out once and for all. We're going to move on to the right-back situation now. Of course, Trent Alexander-Arnold and Gomez have been holding down the right-back position because we have no idea what's happening with Klein. The club aren't leaking an awful lot of information on him. I would love to see him back. Great to have some experience back at that position as well. Be great for the kids to get some rest as well. On a side note, very happy that John Flanagan is no longer part of the equation on loan. Personally, I think he should never ever kick a ball again, but that's a personal view. You can check that out now on Anfield Index Pro. But yep, very happy with the right backs that we've got. The kids are doing a grand job. We're going to move on to left back now, and it is so good to have two left backs genuinely fighting out for a position. You've got Moreno and you've got Robertson. I like them both. I think they both have so many great attributes and assets about them that I like. I think it's so great that we don't have a midfielder playing that position like we did last season. Already we're looking better in that regard. So far, very happy with defence. Lots of bodies, lots of people to rotate in and out of. So happy with that one. Now we're going to move on to the midfield. And this is where the red flags come up for me. Not enough players, in my humble opinion. Jordan Henderson, the captain, can we really rely on him? He's a player that has had so many injuries. It's a concern. And then you look at Adam Lallana, a player that a lot of people, and you know, I like him too. I think he presses. He's very much a Jurgen Klopp man. But we can't ignore the facts, and the facts are these. Since he signed his contract last February, he has only started 7 times for Liverpool. Massive concern. Can we rely on him? Absolutely not, given that stat and the amount of injuries that he's had in the past. And speaking of injuries, we bought Oxlade-Chamberlain, and you know, he was deemed as an injury-prone player, but so far so good. We are heavily reliant on him. He's not picked up a knock. He's playing really well. He actually shows some promise. I think he's proved a lot of his doubters wrong. I love him. He's a massive engine. He's like a more stronger, refined version of Adam Lallana. I love watching him play. He's great. And of course, the biggest story of this window, letting Philippe Coutinho go. As you all know, Philippe Coutinho could play so many roles. He offered so much flexibility to Jurgen Klopp. In that midfield, we're losing that creative spark in Coutinho. He linked up so well with the front three. And I just feel like not replacing that quality is a massive concern. I can't believe Jurgen Klopp didn't go in for another central midfielder. I know we went back in for Naby Keita, but it was naive to think that they weren't going to try and rinse us for every single penny that we've got like we did with Barcelona. So for me, negligent from Jurgen Klopp. I'm really concerned about that one, because really the two midfielders that we can actually genuinely rely on week in, week out are, of course, Emre Can and Gini Wijnaldum, and sometimes they are susceptible to having a bit of a stinker like they did against West Brom. So really massive concerns. I feel like there's no creativity in that midfield. James Milner, of course, played against Huddersfield, had a pretty decent game, but he's not somebody that would inspire me in the midfield at all. So I am concerned. Massive, massive red flags in that midfield. I know Naby Keita comes in the summer. We need more midfielders. We definitely need more midfielders. But as the season stands, you just pray and hope that there are no injuries to the entire squad or the team. Certainly not in midfield, because if you look at that bench, there is absolutely zilch that Jurgen Klopp can do. Okay, we're going to talk about the attack now. We all love the front three. They are majestic, frightening, devastatingly good. But here's a scary little stat for you. They have already played their career average minutes, and we still have 30 to 40% of the season left. There is an in-depth pod about this, and it's on Anfield Index Pro. Our sports scientist Simon Brundish talks about this in depth. Link it down below. Do check it out. It will frighten you like it has frightened me. So you look at that attacking Mane, Salah and Firmino. Great. They're absolutely great. We know this. Coutinho was great as well, because he sort of transitioned into the attack. And when Mane was having an off day, or if somebody was injured, you could really rely on Coutinho to step in. Those players could make it to the bench, get some rest, and there was flexibility. Right now the flexibility has gone, because all you've got is the front three, and then you look at that bench and there is Dom Solanke, who is a child, and Danny Ings, who again is an injury-prone striker. Not seen an awful lot of him. I'm not questioning his work rate or his ethic, but he is injury-prone. Let's call a spade a spade. And then what makes it worse is the fact that Daniel Sturridge was allowed to go on loan to West Brom. Scary, scary stuff. The fact that we have not bought in another striker, another attacker, and you just pray, you just absolutely pray that nothing happens to those attackers, because again, there's no inspiration on that bench. Also, as you all know, Origi's on loan as well, so we didn't even try bringing him back. So massive, massive concerns. Negligent from Jurgen Klopp. I have no idea what he was thinking. It's like his New Year's resolution was to try Feng Shui, and he just went into Melwood and decided to clear all the decks and have nothing, be a minimalist, because literally there is nothing like in regards to what he strengthened in those aspects. You don't let your best players go on loan or sell them without having a plan in action. I know there's lots of talk in the summer that he's going to bring those players in. He's going to get the right players, the right targets, the right transfers. I hope so. I genuinely hope so, because right now, massive concern. We speak about Liverpool all the time, that, oh, this club exists to win trophies. It does. Of course it does. But when you look at that thin squad and you think about what kind of players you want to bring in and what motivates these people to come in, it's Champions League football. You can laugh at Arsenal all day long in the past, but Champions League football brings in pedigree. We need Champions League football, and given the fact that we haven't strengthened, we've not bought any players in bar Van Dijk, who is a massive asset. Very happy with him, but in terms of getting rid of players and not replacing them, massive concerns. And in hindsight, I might get a lot of shit for this, but I'm going to say it. I think it's maybe a good thing that we're at the FA Cup, because I don't think we could challenge on all fronts with that squad. I'd rather us go as far as possible in the Champions League and of course make top four again. Start again next season. Hopefully Klopp has a better transfer window in the summer, brings more players, more quality. I have no doubts about the players that he brings in. They are genuine quality. He just doesn't bring an awful lot of them in. That is my concern. So guys, that's my assessment of this squad. Touch wood that we do not have any injuries and we managed to miraculously make it through this season without any injuries, and we get all the targets that we've just need to do, i.e. Champions League football, get far in Champions League in the competition as we can. Pray, pray, pray. That's all you can do. But guys, so that's that. But whilst I have your attention, please do check out Anfield Index Pro. There are so many great shows, so many great contributors. I spoke about that podcast. It's called Fatigue Index, exclusively to Anfield Index Pro. They talk in depth about players, injuries, the myth about injury-prone players. It is so insightful. Simon Brundish on fine form yet again with Gags Tandon. Do check that out. Again, there's other pods like legends, journalists, fan media. Do check it out. Link it here. It's Anfield Index betterhelp.com/join. You'd be a fool. You don't want to miss out. It's $4.99 a month. Dirt cheap. $49.99 annually, and there is a 7-day free trial. So if you're not happy with anything that you hear, you can cancel at any time. So guys, that's me for this episode. I will catch you next week. Till next time, up the Reds.